Dialog Enterprise is that we've been able to bring the future today.
Communication had become essential for a business. So that's the shift that I see.
While building this expertise, we also need to focus on the technology part.
And today, I think SMEs have scaled to a very, very large size. Welcome to the 20 years anniversary of Dialog Enterprise and our special podcast series. My name is Shenal Gunawardana and today we talk about something special. What is at our heart of our business, that is our customer. And that being said, today's episode will focus on the customer pulse of Dialog Enterprise. And to talk about this, we have three special gentlemen, our three heads of business, Roshan, Ramanan and Sahan. How are you all doing today?
Very good. Good, Shenal. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. So let's begin. I think the single biggest shift, Roshan, you have seen how are large enterprises, expecting their technology partners to show up today?
Shenal, if I go back 20 years ago, these customers, these enterprises were expecting us to connect their factories, branches, remote locations to their headquarters. Right? But today, of course, the SLAs, the stability was part of it. But today, if you look at it, they want how, as Dialog or as a SI or a service provider, how we can transform their business to the current needs. So they are expecting operators to provide services as a managed service. So I think that's the biggest shift I've seen during the last 20 years.
Sahan, what are your thoughts on this? In the SME landscape, is this shift the same? How do you see it?
Yes, the shift is the same, but I see different tolerances. So adding to what Roshan said, gone are the days that it took a very long time for a business to set up. Now it's just, it's in a very short period of time, you can set up the business. The shift that I see is that the communication was not essential at that time, but right now it is. So you need to set up your POS, you need to set up your Wi-Fi, you need to set up your connectivity. So that is essential. Now, from 20 years to now, what had happened is communication had become essential for a business. So that's the shift that I see.
Okay. Ramanan, let's focus on you a little bit. From your vantage point, at the edge of complex and rather non-standard deployments, what customer demands do you see emerging the most today?
So customer wants technology in a simplified way that could basically, end of the day, fulfill the business objectives. So the key part of enterprise, Dialog Enterprise, is that we've been able to bring the future today, which is the technology, in a very simplified way, where consumers can we can empower their businesses to run much more efficiently, bringing the shareholders' desires of the return to their investment. So throughout this journey of 20 years, I think we've been completely transforming the technology landscape and bringing it to a meaningful way to the consumer. So I think in a nutshell, that's how we've been able to transform this landscape to fulfill the requirements of the businesses.
Okay, so gentlemen, I think let's talk about what are the real problems that our customers face today. So Roshan, large enterprises, they come to us today for a lot of requirements. What are they actually struggling with? And is it beyond connectivity? How do you see it? Or is it beyond infrastructure? What are your thoughts?
Shenal, I would say two things. One is these large enterprise customers are still holding into legacy systems. If you look at the market today, buying hardware or refreshing their hardware, given the current macro system, is very challenging. So legacy hardware is one challenge they are facing. The second challenge I would see is talent, retaining talent given the current context as well. So what we at Dialog Enterprise, what we have done is we have built multi-tenant infrastructure platforms. So today, without investing on this hardware, holding into army of skilled individuals or specialized people, they can buy or they can get services over the connectivity or the cloud. So at enterprise, what we have done is we are giving our customers managed services against the hardware that they need or the service that they need to obtain.
So, Sahan, what is the SME reality check on what Roshan said? I mean, where do you see things most often break down there? Is it the scaling costs? Is it the skill? Or is it confidence in technology?
Shenal, what I have seen is that SMEs do have confidence in technology. They have the necessity, they have the requirement to adapt to that technology. But what really happens is they don't have time to figure things out, right? If they see friction, they abandon. Basically, what SMEs want is an off-the-shelf product that they can buy and implement. If they don't have that simplicity, they abandon. That's what I have seen.
So Shenal, just to add into what Sahan said, this is that multi-tenant platforms at enterprise that we have built over the past couple of years. You don't need to buy hardware or you don't need to have people. So it's just off the shelf. You can buy it as a managed service.
So Ramanan, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think alluding to what these two gentlemen just said, the large enterprises and the small and medium enterprises, I think more and more the need for technology is a no-brainer. And adaptability comes if simplicity comes in. So I think that's where we have gained a lot of success. Just transforming from being just a mobile telecom operator to be today a fully fledged enterprise service provider. So today there is complexity because it's a jungle. You're not looking at only basic telecom services. You're looking at complex technology that is used to manage cybersecurity, the vulnerability for businesses, to grow businesses, to better the ROI. So I think we have a very good success story. I think our customers would be a very good testimonial to that, that we've been able to empower and enrich the lives of Sri Lanka and the businesses of Sri Lanka. So that's the key of Dialog Enterprise.
Just to add to what Ramanan just said, so I think as a society, we are not paranoid enough. Cybersecurity is an area that all of us need to be paranoid with. Otherwise, this will not work. There's a limitation what technology can do, right? What technology can bring in is only structures and processes. If you don't change your attitude towards this, as a society, we will fail. So that's a vigilance that you need to have in the society as well as your enterprise also. So it's something that needs to be driven and adapted.
Okay. Roshan, customer expectations are getting complex day by day, right? And also in this emerging and highly competitive market that they function in, also the impatience in terms of a service that they expect from us is very high. And how do you see how Dialog Enterprise has sort of changed how we engage with our customers?
Shenal, you have to stay relevant. If you look at how we at Enterprise is structured, we have been structured largely to focus more on large enterprise customers, then the government element, and then the SME and the small and medium business, right? If I talk about the large enterprise, so I have two verticals who are focusing on the industries. We are trying to build expertise within the industry. Could be banking, could be apparel, could be diversified. So we are building expertise within that organization, right? More relevant to that industry. So there is sales guys, there are engineers we are slowly building that expertise in. While building this expertise, we also need to focus on the technology part. So we have an emerging enterprise product vertical which is more tech focused, who's bringing this expertise horizontally to all the sectors or the customers, so that the gap between the customer and the technology is being bridged by these two teams. So I would say That's how we at Dialog would say relevance to the industries.
So, Sahan, I think SMEs also, just like the large enterprises, they want powerful capabilities. And today, I think SMEs have scaled to a very, very large size. I mean, if you look at a single-handed SME, 1 year ago they were small. Today, they are huge. And with that complexity in their business model, they don't want friction, like you said, from a technology partner.
Absolutely.
So, how do you design solutions that are enterprise grade for SME clients, but yet simple, affordable, and also usable?
Right. So we look at 4 things: availability, accessibility, scalability, and simplicity. Right. So these 4 are interrelated. So the setup that large enterprise at Roshan has is industry-based verticals. What we have is regional-wise access and availability. So we need to be available to the customer from all corners of the country. And the other thing is simplicity and scalability. If it's not simple, you can't scale it. So like I said earlier, they don't abandon technology, they abandon friction. So how to avoid friction is to have it available and accessible, and have it simple enough so that it can be scaled.
Ramanan, I think complex deployments. No 2 customers today want the same solution. Even if they do want the same solution from us, their expectation is more customized to their requirement, and it's not one and the same thing. How critical is flexibility when it comes to providing customized solutions and delivering the real outcome to them, in your perspective?
So, I think the question itself basically, I think, spits this out that one size doesn't fit everything. Yes, technology is standard, it comes in a particular standard. But I think what we've done is that we've been able to customize it to the relevant businesses. And we have the expertise to do that as Dialog. And considering the complexity in the global market, Sri Lanka, if we need to really get to where we are, to be a competitive player in our exports, to be able to take our businesses from beyond our borders, I think in this current day and age, we need to really have technology supporting it, but also technology that can be customized or to fit that particular industry vertical. So I think Dialog has done a tremendous job. We've now, for example, have international undersea cables running, right? So, and then our cloud services. We stick by the tagline that we have, the future today. And the beauty is that we are helping all industry verticals to grow. So, yes, to answer your question, one size doesn't fit all. And we as a business strives to make sure that every customer gets it to understandable, tangible means to deliver their products and services. I hope I've answered it reasonably.
To what Ramanan said, Shenal, if you go back to my previous, the previous topic, inside our organization, that structure itself supports the flavor. If you look at same product is being delivered separately, differently to different customers in different flavors. So that's how we have been, structured internally as well.
So one more thing to add is that what Ramanan said correctly, one size doesn't fit all. So another thing that we, I'm sure that both of you would agree, also privileged, is that our 20 years journey, we have seen our enterprises from micro to large, that journey. So we have been privileged to be their partner in progress.
Absolutely.
Through that journey. So we have solutions for that micro level to that large level, and we support them through that journey. So micro, small, medium, large. So we enterprises, we take them through that journey, and we have been a partner to our steps of the way. I mean, that's something that I think all of us can be proud and privileged also.
Shenal, just sticking to this topic. Now, I'll give you an example. 15 years ago, or maybe, a little beyond, we used to run a couple of commercials where you would have seen fishermen catching their catch way out in the sea. Before they get to the land, their details of their catch is sent via, those days we used to have something called USSD, where people can dial a particular code and then get the information they need. So before they come in, they used to get the details of the catch. And so to their, the people, the mudalalis or whoever, the vendors or the traders who buy it from them. But today, you have applications, apps. So the transformation of technology from being just a USSD SMS service, it has become an application. Now you can see the complexity. Now the same way, from the fisherman, we have taken it to the farmer. So the produce, the growth, the outcome of whatever they grow. Today, basically the middleman or the vendor who buys it gets the information ahead of time. And that's the beauty of how we have transformed this from every industry using the same, maybe the platform, but to customize it to different places. So I think it's a very important topic that you brought up. And I think this is something, this landscape will continue to change. And we are very proud to be in this space, to be able to enable our customers to be globally competitive. I think this helps our economy, it will help grow every business in the country, and we are very happy to be a part of this ecosystem.
So gentlemen, I think collaboratively, would it be correct if I said that we have not just been building the future, we have been architecting the future also from a change perspective for our clients?
Absolutely.
So gentlemen, let's talk about the next demand curve or the next biggest shift and the ever-evolving expectations from our customers. So Ramanan and Sahan, if you could tell us, based on what you're seeing right now in the market, what is the next expectation that the customer will definitely consider non-negotiable from us? It could be one, it could be many, but in your purview, what is that?
Okay, so let me start off, Sahan. So I think we all know that we are hearing a lot of things about what's the next. So I think there are a couple of things that are coming up, Shenal, in the future. One is the build-up of AI, the emergence of robotics, right? And basically the cyber security or the cyber threats, using all these technologies that are coming up. And also I think there is a lot of question about, what is the future? And I think it's though we may find a lot of people speaking about it, there is a lot of information about it. Today, when you draw up a business plan, you're drawing up to, let's say, your aspirations from 1 year to 3 years. But the landscape is so volatile that it keeps changing so fast and rapidly. So, from a business perspective, I think people are looking at, again, going back to the topic of technology, you have to look at what these things that I just mentioned about AI, robotics, cyber, how is it going to be incorporated into a business? And of course, you're looking at service is something that is not negotiable. People still will want service. But how do you, incorporate these things into the business? And from let's say, as any business, as an SME business or a large medium or a large customer, end of the day, it's my customer, and I need to give my customer what they want at a affordable price, and give them the service that they need, right? But then how do you bring stuff like this, right? You're looking at, people talking about artificial intelligence, technology taking over, and how do you not compromise on service? How do you not compromise on quality? So a few non-negotiables from a consumer's point of view is definitely service, customer expectation, customer service, and also basically a return of investment on what they have put their money into. End of the day, those are fundamentals. I think those are not non-negotiable. But we as a company and an industry, our challenge is to bring this into a workable and a meaningful, let's say, tools and enablers that will enable customers to meet these three things that I told you. Now, while doing this, we as an organization, I'll just tell you, we constantly invest on people, developing people, enabling people to adapt to what's coming, learning into what's coming as technology. And while we are doing this, I'll give you a very simple example. For example, our job descriptions. We have gone to the extent of writing our job descriptions, how it might look in the next 5 years. Because how this job, what I'm doing, or Roshan is doing, or Sahan is doing, or somebody in the front line is doing, what will it be in 5 years' time? That's the level of detail what Dialog and Dialog Enterprise has gone into investing, bringing foreign expertise, foreign consultancy, investing money in preparing ourselves for what is ahead of us. So I believe that we as an organization continuously invest in our people, and that translates into how we react to the market. So the three non-negotiables, like I said, I believe will not change, whether it's AI or SpaceX or whatever you may call it outside, because those fundamentals will be there anyway. Sahan, please add on.
Yes, I think Ramanan touched on the very essential aspects. So adding to what he said, what I see in the MSME market space for non-negotiable is one thing, it's simplicity, right? So if it's not simple, as I said earlier, it's not scalable. If it's not scalable, you cannot adapt it. So it's the difference between abandonment and adoption, right? If it's not scalable, definitely it will be abandoned. So what I see the shift and the most non-negotiable would be the simplicity.
Roshan, any thoughts from you?
I would say businesses, they want us to help in the transformation. I think what Ramanan said, the 3 points he mentioned, and what Sahan said, the simplicity, right? All these are essential in their business transformation. So that is what is expected from us as a telco or a techco, I would say, helping them in their journey in this business transformation.
So I think, Roshan, let's talk a little bit about the readiness gap. Earlier, you did mention about legacy infrastructure. So I'm going to cue on that and ask you something. Sri Lankan enterprises today, are they ready for the next shift in terms of technology? Is it ambition, or are they actually ready?
Sure, I would largely say yes, but of course there are challenges, right? I mean, it could be, a large organization or a large and medium organization. Like I said, they are still holding into some of this legacy infrastructure, right? I mean, if you take today, most of these applications are moving to cloud. It could be a hyperscaler, or it could be a private cloud based on data sovereignty and all that. So there is a bit of a challenge in applications. Some of these applications are not cloud ready, right? Also, from a regulatory point of view, also they are being challenged because of certain policies, guidance from the regulatory side. You can't move all applications or your data to a cloud or a public cloud environment. So on that area, they are challenged. Second, I would say it's on the cybersecurity side. Cybersecurity is essential, and then whether these enterprises have invested and how much you need to invest to secure yourself is a question mark as well. Because you get internal threats, you get external threats, right? Internal is worse. So that's another challenge, and we all of us are talking about AI, and getting to AI, you need to go through this transformation, and you need to get your staff ready for this AI journey. So I think that those are, I would largely say yes, but there are certain challenges.
Okay, all right. So I think, gentlemen, this conversation has been very insightful. Before we wind up today's podcast, I'd like to ask all three of you one very special question. In one line, if we are to define today as Dialog Enterprise, in one line, what defines tomorrow's customer? Roshan, let's start with you.
Yeah, sure. I would say we at Dialog, right? We are architecting the future today for our enterprise customers' needs in the future.
Ramanan?
Yeah, I think we've lived to that motto of what we continuously have carried out, the future today. If I may break it down a little bit, what is there tomorrow, customer's expectation, which is the future, we bring it to the customer today. And so our tagline that we carry on as future today really means that.
Sahan, how about you?
To articulate that correctly, I would say availability of the future today to our enterprises.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. This has been a very insightful conversation. And with that, we conclude another episode of our 20 years Dialog Enterprise Anniversary Podcast Series. Stay tuned for more.